Greetings, it is March 18th, 2014. I'm with a 1982 drawing, which is interesting for me historically and looking at my work over the years. While it wasn't the first Holocaust artwork I ever did, those I did in college in the 1970s in Illinois and in Missouri. This work was well, it predates my first trip to Poland, which was in 1984, by 2 years, and thus also predates my first major, really important Holocaust artwork called Ellie's Sin by that same amount of time. It also predates the starting of the Under the Wings of God series by 9 years. That began in November, December 1991. For short title purposes, I call this an unknown and nameless man. And it was not a portrayal of anyone specific, unlike the Under the Wings of God drawings, for example, which were all done from, with one exception, photographs of people who were murdered. The one exception was the depiction of the murdered German Jewish painter Felix Nussbaum in the Shoah Dreams artwork from the Under the Wings series, in which I used Nussbaum's most famous painting as my source of inspiration for reinterpretation of his self-portrait. So this person is not an actual person who lived and died, unlike all the other depictions of those who were murdered. And I'm excluding, of course, those drawings I've done of survivors. Alex Schwartz in Seattle, Elie Wiesel, Primo Levi, Giorgio Bassani. I'm going to read the text here, which is an integral part of the drawing. The drawing, by the way, measures 38.5 inches in height by 27 3/4 inch in width. It has never been exhibited, although it was reproduced as a lecture flyer for a human rights lecture addressing anti-Semitism at the Atlantic Human Rights Center at St. Thomas University, which is in Fredericton, New Brunswick. That's in northeast Canada. For the flyer, lecture was, I forget what year, but it was at least 10 years ago by now. An unknown and nameless man, a pious Jew, a just and decent God-fearing soul, died in an unknown year in an unknown extermination camp somewhere in Europe with his unknown loved ones. Devoted wife of many years, beautiful and adoring children, and righteous God-fearing parents. "Hear me, O Lord," he cried. This unknown, just, and saintly man grieved for the generations of Israel. He prayed that the children of Israel, the future generations, would pray and remember, for he and his loved ones had been good Jews. He cried out in awe, "Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad." There you have it. I don't have any idea what will happen with the disposition of this work at some point in the future, hopefully while I'm still on the scene, although I'd be very grateful were it benefacted by someone or someone's to an institution where it would not be shelved, as is the case with 99% of works on paper, like in art galleries in Europe, Britain, and art museums, as we call them in the States, Canada, but that it would be framed and permanently installed somewhere, a university or college. Art collection would work for that, as well as a house of worship somewhere. So we shall see.